Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Steaks with Mates. Today, I'm joined by a special guest. His name is Brian Kelly, and he goes under the Instagram handle, the Hunter Gatherer Mindset. So, welcome, Brian. Thank you for coming along and having a chat with me.
Thank you much. Thank you very much, Jeff. It's a pleasure to be here. Great to meet you. Finally, we've had many conversations, kind of via text.
Yes.
But it's good to finally see you face to face.
Absolutely. Now, I've loved your posts and the way that you have conceptualized, I guess, your branding and your imaging of what we need to be doing as human beings. I mean, the title of your Instagram handle says it all, really. And the fact that we are connecting from different sides of the world, talking about this wonderful way of living, I think is very special. So let's get straight into the nuts and bolts of what, I guess, your journey was like getting into health in general. When did your health journey start?
Well, if you look at my profile, you'll see that it started based on one photograph that was taken of me on a construction site in Belgium that I was working on in July of 23. I was disgusted by what I saw. I had a huge belly. I showed, inflammation all over. And I realized that I was just heading downhill with my health. It hadn't given me many problems that I thought were a concern, but when I saw that photograph, it made me realize that something has to change here. It's not going to end well, and I started thinking about things and immediately started researching things. Gradually finding little bits of information about seed oils and carbohydrates turn into sugar and grains turn into sugar, and bit by bit, slowly getting all this information in, but hadn't quite reached carnivore yet. So I inadvertently ended up as keto, even though I didn't realize it, and started introducing the intermittent fasting. And wow, I got great results in the first, 8 to 10 months. I dropped quite a bit of weight, and not only that, my joints, everything went away or close to it. I had severe gout, which was a big problem. I cover a lot of mileage on my feet during the day as a construction manager. And so I started noticing all these things and feeling great. So much energy. My sleep improved. Everything improved. But it really came to light when I found the likes of Dr. Sean Baker and Dr. Ken Barry and the guys, and started looking more into the carnivore end of things. And it's then that my progress really skyrocketed. I've been over 12 months fully carnivore. I kind of went animal based first because I wasn't sure about the lack of vitamin C's they all worry about. And, as I read more and more into it, I finally gave up blueberries and things like that I was adding in to try and get that vitamin C. But then once I gave them up, everything just disappeared. So I'm feeling the best I've felt for 30 years, man. It really is amazing.
30 years. Wow. I hope you're enjoying the episode so far, but before we get back into it, I really want to talk about something I think is very important for health and longevity, and it's about adult stem cells. Did you know that adult stem cells are essential for the repair and renew of damaged and old cells in your body? But here's the catch. As you age, the number of adult stem cells in your circulation decreases. By age of 35, your natural release of adult stem cells can drop up to 45%. By 50, it can drop as much as 50%. And by 65, it can plummet by up to 90%. Fortunately though, there is a solution. There is a product out there in the market that naturally increases the amount of adult stem cells that circulate in your bloodstream. It's by a company called Cerule, and the magical product is called Stem Enhance Ultra. And there's also a bunch of amazing products that Cerule offer that help with the migration of adult stem cells. Now, to check this out for yourself, go click the link below that I'll provide in the video description. And I should also note that you can get your products for free. So check it out, and with that, let's get back to the show. So I can only imagine that your diet or your lifestyle beforehand was very, standardized, Western approach, eating a mixed macronutrient diet, all that jazz.
Yeah.
Did you have any, I guess, even looking back at keto, did you have any red alerts in your mind that made you think, oh gosh, like, am I really going to be, not eating carbohydrates, or the amount of fat that I'm going to be eating? Did that not like send red alerts in your mind? Because I remember from my experiences, that was a very, cholesterol. It's still, I could not move past the, eating a ton of fat.
Yeah. Well, early on, I found Barbara O'Neill.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And she had many lectures about cholesterol. And so, I've always eaten meat. It's not as if I haven't.
Yes.
I always loved meat. It's just the other junk was the problem.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, I had no fears about cholesterol after studying a little bit right at the beginning in 23. No, didn't worry me, and it still doesn't worry me at all. It's a whole lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good for us. We need it.
It is the.
I mean, even for mental clarity alone, it's amazing. My brain feels like it's on, power up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I argue that actually, I think it is, if not one of the most important nutrients that your body requires for.
I totally
survival.
agree with. Yeah. 100%.
So you went keto, and then you transitioned into carnivore after watching a few videos and your own due diligence and researching these things. Now, what exactly did you, I guess, experience? You felt the best shape of your life, but what were the actual benefits, weight loss wise, or what were some things that you can recall that, wow, this really is working?
Yeah, it's amazing when you start to heal, you find things that you didn't even know were wrong.
Yes.
For me, of course, the first biggest thing was the weight loss.
Yes.
And then the inflammation. I mean, my joints are now as flexible as they were when I was in my 20s. And that's amazing feeling to be able to bend over and tie your shoes without grunting. For a 52-year-old is quite amazing, and jump up off the sofa, jump out of bed in the morning. It's amazing. The flexibility in my spine. I've had numerous problems with sciatica over the last, 20 years.
Okay.
And sometimes it affected me really badly, maybe 3-4 times a year. In the past 2 years, I've had no problem whatsoever with it. My back feels really good. And, being in construction all my life, I'm a carpenter by trade, so my early years were very physical.
Yes.
And that takes its toll on the spine. But nowadays, it's just amazing. I mean, the flexibility on my neck alone is just amazing. Up to about 8 months ago, just turning my head, my spine would be clicking. It'd sound like, Rice Krispies or something, it's the little things you notice. One of the bigger things that went away from me, like I said, I think earlier, was the gout.
Yes.
Gout is something that affects especially men my age and up. But I'm finding more and more, the more I speak about it, the more younger people are actually contacting me about it and worried about it.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, as you know, fructose is a huge factor there as well. That's something I found out. Mental clarity is a huge thing. I mean, who knows? Who knew? I didn't imagine in my wildest dreams that I would have an Instagram page with 50 odd thousand followers.
Exactly. Yeah.
2 years ago, that was out of my even thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm doing things. I traded up in my job. I got a new job, which was a step up the ladder as construction manager. And I'm so focused at work. It's unbelievable. I'm killing it.
That is amazing.
I'm about to hand over one of the biggest data centers, one of the biggest AI data centers in the world. And it's the
Wow.
quickest that was ever built here in the Netherlands. It's
Wow.
Google.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's amazing.
the feeling of elation that we've got there, that my mental ability contributed to that maybe in some way.
No, I
So
absolutely think it did. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, from that perspective, I mean, I'm thinking so clearly on my feet at work. It's unbelievable. And like I said, I've got all these other things going on, and I'm studying to be a coach as well, like yourself,
Yes.
in the background,
That is
trying to improve my knowledge on the scientific reasoning behind why and how carnivore works,
yes.
so that I have all the answers, for all those silly questions that we get, about the vitamin C and the scurvy and the
Yeah.
digestive system and how it should work. And yeah,
And once you do piece it all together, when you do look at the information, you really kind of kick yourself and thinking, wow, how did we not come to this
yeah.
conclusion earlier?
How did we not know this?
Yeah, how did we not know about this? I was speaking
Well,
about this with the another interview I was doing. I read about it, I think from memory, it's about 17 years ago. I read on my textbook as I was studying to become a nurse. There was a little excerpt about gluconeogenesis, and it only ever clicked to me 17 years later what that actually meant. That you could actually survive without glucose in your system. I mean,
yeah,
sorry, without exogenous glucose.
yes,
I want
yes.
to clarify that.
Don't
people.
forget gluconeogenesis.
Yes. Yeah. So that's
We
pretty
need a little
cool.
bit, but
Yeah. Yeah.
the good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about the, I guess, social aspect of you going down this route of eating nothing but, animal foods
Yes.
and what the people around you thought about that.
Mixed reactions, of course.
Mm-hmm.
My colleagues see me eating the way I eat at work, and I get, so many different reactions. Some of them have started to follow me. Some of them are very
Wow.
curious because they can see that I'm thriving on it. Unfortunately, the colleagues I have now are not the colleagues I had previously before my transformation. So they don't know me as the old version. They only know this version,
Yes.
with the exception of one. And he can't believe what he sees. He just happened to arrive at this same project around the same time as me. And he can't believe the transformation at all. I seem to be getting some great reactions from some people.
Yes.
And I'm actually working on two of them right now. I'm giving them a free kind of coaching
Yeah.
startup for a month because I want to gain the knowledge myself on how to actually coach people properly. So I'm offering them
Absolutely.
free
Yeah.
until I finish my course and get my certification. I don't feel I should be charging anything.
No, fair enough.
It's easy enough to manage, and I can speak with them face to face daily, which is another good thing,
Yes, that's a benefit.
Yeah. So,
No, that's really
yeah,
good.
like I said, mixed reactions, some good, some bad.
Yeah. I know that a lot of people that, uh, often with their social networks, they feel somewhat, I don't know if it's, you feel awkward to tell people that you are doing this diet or living a lifestyle that is making you feel amazing, but at the same time, feel like you're treading water when you're speaking about it with people.
Yeah.
Maybe it's to do with, just the how unorthodox this way of living is compared to how people currently live. But we can clearly see that how people are living, it's clearly not doing us any good in terms of public health and just people's health in general. Now, you've created an amazing Instagram page. This
Thank
platform
you.
that you've got with, like you said, 50,000 followers. Well done.
Yeah, thank
What
you.
what prompted you as someone to get out there and actually talk to people about this?
Okay, the biggest factor that spurred me into start creating content about this. When I had started the hunter gatherer mindset, I had started slowly. I started with like 5 followers,
Yes.
but unfortunately, last year my dad passed away,
Sorry to hear.
and he died a horrible death, really horrible in palliative care. He died of a stroke,
Mm-hmm.
a really, really severe stroke, and we spent weeks by his side until he eventually faded away. And, you know, that really spurred me to start looking at the whole situation. I mean, I went through so much pain, and so did my mum and my siblings. We went through so much pain watching him
Mm.
slip away from us. And that really spurred me to start this. I said, okay, people have got to know that it's not enough to just stand by and let this happen. I've got to get my message out there. I want other people to know that this kind of thing is actually avoidable if you start to make changes early as possible. You know, my dad was a person that loved sweet things. He, of course, had his Weetabix every morning, and he had all through his life thinking that, brown bread was healthy because that's what they
Yes.
say it is.
Yep.
You get me?
I get
Using these artificial sweeteners all his life because he's thinking sugar is bad, but these things are better. No, they ain't. So when I added up his story, it made me realize, wow, if I'd known this 10 years earlier, Dad, we might have been able to prevent the way it went,
Yes.
So I don't want that for my kids. I don't want to end up in the same way being sick for the last 10 years of my life and then eventually an excruciating end from a disease that can be totally avoided, without listing them all. We all know the big ones, heart disease and type 2
Yeah.
diabetes and all of these things
Yes.
that are, making people's lives a misery. And all I want to do is be a little part of what might change the world a little bit. And I think that carnivore is the way to go.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Well, first off, I just want to say, Brian, my condolences. And it's only been a
Thank you.
year, and but I think what you've taken out of something that's been a situation that's not ideal. You've taken it and have shown the world that yes, there is a way that you can live, which will be will basically prevent or could be preventing what's to come in the future years of someone's life. I always say to myself, like, I wish I had known this earlier. And
Yeah,
yeah,
that's across the board with carnivores. I mean, the minute we come to the realization that why didn't I know this a long time ago?
exactly.
It's that eureka moment. You just wish you could get your story out there. And I'm finding more and more, the more carnivores that I connect with and have a relationship with, they all have the story. I mean, you're in the group with me that we have, the little chat room.
Yes.
The sense of frustration at not getting their story out quick enough and stuff like that. And so I like helping people to use the little bit of experience I have in growing my following
Yes.
to try and help other carnivores that have the same frustration that I had in the beginning. And yeah, I hope that's working.
Oh, it absolutely is. And, I have to thank you for that as well, because, you are one of those people that, I've built a connection with online. And I don't think I would have done
Likewise.
that. I wouldn't have done that 3 years ago when I started on this journey. I wouldn't have imagined I would be speaking to someone from the Netherlands or the UK, the US, and connecting in a way that is something that words cannot describe. Really can't.
Uh-huh. Well,
Yeah.
may
Sorry.
I say, Jeff, I'm actually
Yeah.
from Ireland.
Oh, you're from Ireland. Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Ireland, the west of Ireland. Yeah. But for the last 10 years, I've been living in Copenhagen, in Denmark. So that's my
Wow.
base now.
You're based there.
And
Okay.
yeah, currently I'm in the Netherlands, but I work all over
Ah,
Europe over the last few years, totally. So I could be anywhere at any time. Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, that's good, because I was thinking Kelly is a very Irish
Yes,
surname.
yes. No,
So,
I am
yeah.
100% Irish,
I,
for
I
sure.
didn't want to assume, though. I just wanted to
I know.
play the safe side.
Yeah, you never
um,
know sometimes, huh?
exactly, exactly. So I guess let's start with your diet and what it looks like right now. What does Brian's diet look like?
Um, Very simple, Jeff, to be honest with you. It's only when I go home to Copenhagen I put a little bit more effort in. But while I'm on the go here in the Netherlands, it's quite simple. It's mostly BBE, bacon, butter, eggs, beef, you know.
Mm.
Luckily, I live near a regenerative farm that has an amazing shop. It's about a
Lovely.
20-minute drive, so that's close enough.
Oh, it's very close.
Yeah, and they've got an amazing array of, meat and dairy and everything that it's all made on the farm. So yeah, I had a big haul yesterday, but I haven't put it up yet. I will. From that farm, I got like 5 ribeyes, enormous dinner plate sized ribeyes that are so good. I get my ground beef there. Yeah, I mix it up as much as I can.
Yes.
I have a source for some good seafood as well.
Good.
So I like my prawns, my salmon, that kind of stuff, occasionally.
Lovely.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's meat, eggs, seafood, dairy,
There you go.
a mixture of all of that. That's it.
There you go. So you've really committed to the carnivore lifestyle.
Yeah, well, that's what I feel good on,
Mm,
Jeff. It makes me
mm.
feel amazing and so much energy,
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
so much
Yeah.
energy during the day. It's amazing.
Yeah. And it's like, if why yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? It's working for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You said it.
Yeah.
People ask me, doesn't it get boring?
All the time. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. I love the
Yeah.
taste of it every time. It's like I just experienced it for the first time every time. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
once you figure out how to cook things the way you really like it.
Yes.
Yeah, and I find that more and more I'm cooking my steaks rarer and rarer, and
Yes.
that's
Me too.
catching attention as well. You know,
Yes.
at
Yeah.
work.
Yes. I actually, uh, I was a late bloomer when it came to steak. I was very deprived of cooking steak or having steak for
Yeah,
a very long time, and I always thought that well done was the way to
it's
do
the
it.
norm, right?
Yeah, and it was only once I went carnivore I started to cook it less and less, less, and now I can say I'm up to a medium.
I'd be more medium rare.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, I'm hoping to get to that stage one day.
yeah,
Um, but so this concept of the four cornerstones that you have used as a framework for the hunter-gatherer mindset. Let's talk about that. Let's break it down and go through individually what it means to you.
yeah. Well, what I say what I mean when I say the four cornerstones or the four pillars, basically it's a step back in time to how we evolved on this planet.
Mhm.
Uh, Grounding for one thing. We didn't wear shoes back then at
Mm,
all when we were running through forests and
yes.
chasing down animals and yeah, all of that. It's only since we started wearing rubber soled shoes that we've lost this connection to the planet.
Yes.
We live in concrete boxes, we walk on sidewalks, we rarely touch the ground with our bare feet. And I believe we've lost our connection with Mother Earth in that way.
We have.
So that's one. The carnivore diet itself is how we evolved. It's how our gut evolved. It's why we
Yes.
have such a low acidity or such a high level of acid in our stomach.
Yes.
It's even stronger than a lion.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's only a vulture of a certain
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
that has a stronger acid.
Yes.
Yeah. And our gut is totally designed to consume meat and to
Yeah.
digest meat.
Absolutely.
So if that isn't a handshake to our ancestors and how they developed, that's beyond me. So that's two of them. Fasting would be the next one. I mean, back in the day, our ancestors would have had something like a feast famine cycle, whereby when they get a hunt, they would gorge.
Yes.
Uh, they had no refrigeration back then, so they would
Mhm.
consume as much as possible until they couldn't eat anymore. And then they'd go without for a considerable amount of time, maybe sometimes, depending on the availability of,
Mm.
you know, animals.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that explains the intermittent fasting in my mind and
Yes.
how it works in tune with our bodies and our digestive system.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very good to give the digestive system a break, especially at nighttime.
Yes.
I often do OMAD, as we call it, one meal a
Hmm.
day, quite regularly, almost every day, to be honest. I haven't eaten
Hmm.
yet today. It's almost 1 o'clock here. Um, so that's the third pillar. And then the fourth one is sunshine.
Yes.
Again, we've been blinded by advertising and all these manufacturers that tell us that this stuff is good to put on our skin and it's full of chemicals. And all of a sudden, once that was invented, skin problems started. That in
Yeah.
conjunction with seed oils and all the other bad stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
from the inside out, our metabolic health is screwed.
Yeah.
But I find that, like last year, I didn't use any at all, any skin care products, any sunscreen,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I tanned wonderfully. And even now, during the winter here in the Netherlands or in Europe, um, I have gotten a tan on my face and hands. I don't know if you saw it in one of my recent posts there. Um, during the winter, I've got a bit of a tan, which is
Yeah.
unimaginable. And that's down to diet,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we've lost our connection with the sun. It's vital for vitamin D, as you know.
Correct.
Yeah. Um, and again, it's how our ancestors would have lived. They didn't have incandescent lighting and fluorescent lighting and all of that kind of stuff at nighttime. You know, they lived by nature's light. So their circadian rhythms were set to the sun. And yeah, all our behavior and everything is down to our circadian rhythm. And yeah, so those are the four most important cornerstones of the hunter-gatherer mindset idea. So just to set everyone's mind at ease, I'm not some guy that dresses up as a hunter-gatherer and chases deer around the woods all the time. I've got some funny comments from
Although how good would
might
that be?
think that, but no, I'm just a normal everyday guy.
Although the thought of actually, living like that, actually, I think it sounds amazing, for a lot of us.
It does, but maybe for a week or two.
A week or two, that's right. Yeah. Curious, have you ever been hunting, for game and
not in real life, no.
Not in real life.
No. No, don't ask me why. It's just that it never fitted in with my life. I'm always busy. I have a very busy career and always traveling, and it just never fitted in. It's not that I wouldn't. And who knows, someday I might set up a hunter-gatherer mindset retreat in the woods somewhere.
I look forward to that. That sounds really, really, something
Sleep in a cave and hunt by day. Yeah.
Oh, the dream.
Doesn't it?
I really like it, Brian. I absolutely agree with the four pillars that you talk about. I think all of them are as they're to me in my, I guess, thinking, they're all as important.
Exactly.
Not one is more important than the other. I think they all need to be incorporated.
They all play a part in conjunction with each other, to give optimal health, in my mind.
Yeah.
I think, and of course, I get the.
Sorry.
No. Of course, I get the argument. Oh, hunter-gatherers only live to 30.
Yes, go there.
Yeah, that's a big one. It's so annoying. That's made up, from stupid statistics that doesn't take child death into account.
Yeah. I mean, you think about the threats and the pressures you would have to go through as a hunter-gatherer, even a modern one, right?
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, they're out in the woods. There's no such thing as a hospital nearby. The amount of stillborn and, complications during childbirth.
Yeah.
You get it. I mean, infant mortality was very, very high. It was up on 40 to 45%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of the biggest thing that brings down that average value, and it ends up being at 30 when it's realistically a lot of them that survive past the age of 12.
Yes,
a lot of them survived, unless they got killed by a mammoth or something. A lot of them survived to be in their 70s, 80s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nature is the beast itself. We only recently experienced this. This is the first ever sort of major environmental event that I've ever been involved in. But we had a cyclone here in the east coast of Australia. And I'm just thinking, and it got me thinking, that alone, imagine what our ancestors would have gone through with these weather events without shelter, without the four walls that hold our that pretty much secure us from the environment. These guys would have had to endure that plus more. So
exactly. Don't forget they lived through an ice age.
An ice age.
Yeah,
Correct. Yeah.
and
With no
subsequent flooding
heater.
from that. Yeah,
Yes. No. Yeah. It's the argument really it falls flat on its face. Really, if you put all those
absolutely.
things together.
They were tough.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
resilient.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
we wouldn't be here without them.
No. And oh, that's a really good point too. We wouldn't be here without them. And so when we think about I'm going into genetics here, this topic of genetics, which people say, oh, your genetics set your, I guess, the stage. And a lot of your downfalls and your pitfalls in, your health is due to your genetics. So say diabetes, oh, it's because of your genes. Heart
Yeah,
disease, oh, it's because of your genes.
yeah. Obesity.
Yeah, it's genetics. But I don't agree with that.
Not me either.
The evolution, we are at the peak of evolution. So our genes made it this far for a reason.
Exactly.
And it's because of the environment, the environmental pressures that we currently live in that push us towards ill health. So, I think genetics is just an excuse to push the agenda that we don't know, or well, I guess our bodies don't know how to perform that they should. But me and you both know that our bodies are capable of doing amazing things. Like, for example, gluconeogenesis. Can you
Yeah,
imagine that we have refined this system where we create our own glucose for survival?
yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? It really is.
That would have been such a huge advantage for our hunter gatherer past. I think anyway.
Absolutely, and it's part of what used to give them the boost to go for the hunt.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
it was the ability to produce our own glucose. And it's something I didn't really understand until very, very recently.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
that we can make our own glucose in our liver. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Um,
Really
but I
is.
mean, when you look at even modern day hunter gatherers that still exist, these tribes in Africa and Australia, the
Yeah. Yeah.
Aboriginals, the ones
Yes.
that still that are true to their lifestyle in the
Yes.
bush.
Yes.
Um, you know, the risk of them having heart disease and all these modern illnesses is a lot lower than the ones that have adopted
Yes.
the modern lifestyle, as we call it. And I don't
Yes.
see it as a lifestyle anymore.
No, definitely not. No.
No.
It's self-sabotage to our system, really, is what it is.
Yeah,
But
exactly. Just fitting in with the norm.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. Which
Yeah,
is a message that we're obviously trying to stay clear of and trying to, I guess, in a way, debunk because it shouldn't be normal. This is, the way people live right now. This is not how we were designed to live.
I mean,
Mm.
it's mind-numbing. When I look around me on a busy street here
Mm.
in the Netherlands, I see so many people. It's like the movie The Sixth Sense. I see sick people. The amount of obesity, even in young children, is
Yes.
just staggering.
It's sad.
And of course, the amount of those Zimmer frames on wheels that I see going up and down the
Yes.
street, and
Oh,
mobility scooters everywhere. I mean, that didn't exist even 20 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Um,
No.
and even though some people may not be classed as overweight or obese and have kind of a normal frame, if you want to put it that way, you can still see that they're suffering with inflammation.
Yes. Yes.
You know, So the amount of it I see daily, and I'm in and out of airports a lot every couple of
Mm,
weeks,
mm,
and it's everywhere. It's every nationality that I see going through an airport.
that's it. Yeah.
It's not as if there's one that stands out.
Mm,
We're all the same,
mm,
yeah.
mm, mm.
And it is just as bad in Europe, in
Yeah.
my opinion, as it is anywhere else.
Yeah.
They say it's bad in America. I can see it exactly the same way here.
Yes. Yes. And same here. Same in Asia. I'm
Yeah,
sure it's like this uh, in a real, true pandemic fashion. This is a real
that's
issue. This
a
is an
true
issue.
pandemic. I think. Yeah, you
Yeah.
nailed it there. I mean, yeah, for sure.
You know, doing these things, these four pillars or the cornerstones, and applying it in your life. The carnivore diet, most people can achieve that because meat is readily available for most people anyway.
Yeah.
What about the other? And I'll say with fasting as well. I mean that doesn't take many resources
Well,
to
that's
do
cheap.
that. That's cheap. That's probably the cheapest of them all.
Exactly. Don't eat.
But grounding and sunlight. How do
Yeah.
you? I guess as a construction manager, how do
Yeah.
you apply those things in your day to day?
Um, my weekends off, I try my best. Now, during the winter, it's difficult,
Mm.
you know, but I try my best to find a park and just take my shoes off. I don't care what I look like to anybody else. I really
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
Um, and some are curious, and others just laugh, and I really don't care what your problem
yeah,
is with me.
yeah, yeah,
You go your way. But yeah, a park or a beach or whatever, just get in contact with the ground. And I do it as
mm.
often as I can. I'm going to do it
Mm.
later on today.
Yeah.
I have a lovely park nearby that I go to regularly. So at least once a week, I will do that.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And obviously, sunshine, everybody loves sunshine. Tell me one person that doesn't. Yeah. It's just that we, you know, live indoor lives more than
Yes,
before. We have so many screens to look at
yes,
and, all this bullshit. Get out, get off your ass and get out
yeah,
in nature if you can. I mean, when you think about it, everybody feels good when they're on the beach in the summertime, don't they?
absolutely.
As
Yes,
far as I know,
yes.
everybody feels good. And in my mind, there are two reasons for that: the
Mm.
grounding and the sunshine.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Does
Totally
that
agree.
answer your question?
Yeah, yeah, totally agree. I mean, you think about I guess, the feeling of being in the water, your feet, obviously touching the ground,
Yeah.
and that connection you get. I don't know. It is hard to explain. Maybe that's
It's actually the
why.
best way of grounding is to do it in
Yes,
water.
in water. Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
it
because
is.
you have much more contact with the sea,
Yes.
obviously,
Yep.
which is
Yep.
the same as being on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. And so no, I totally agree. And I think you uh, hit it there in the head. You do as much as you can, really.
Yeah,
Whatever you can muster, or your ability to get in touch with your inner human, connect with the ground,
yeah,
connect with the sunlight, whether that, and I tell people all the time, it doesn't have to be um, you know taking a large chunk of your routine to, oh, I've got to go sit on this piece of ground, this ground here, and I've got to have lunch here. I don't know. It really should come effortless. And I think that's the beauty of
exactly,
coaching. And I hope that, you can experience this too, because with my clients, I always just say that the little things really matter. Why don't you
exactly.
just start with waking up in the morning, stick your head out the window, and just look for the sunrise
Yeah, take a deep breath.
and take a deep breath?
Yeah,
Very, very simple things. And you'll be
yeah,
very surprised to see how far and how much your day will improve. I think people really underestimate these little things that you could achieve with very minimal effort, minimal cost, and with so many benefits.
Yeah, unfortunately, the habit is wake up and grab your phone. You know, let's shove some blue light in there first.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, it's shaking that kind of stuff is difficult for people to imagine.
Mm.
You know, um, but yeah, I feel best when I get out of my house in the morning. Luckily enough, I work very early, so
Yes.
I'm out. I'm out in the early morning sun
Yeah.
almost every day.
That's
So yeah,
amazing. Yeah, no, that's really good. And fasting as well. You say you eat once a day, doing an OMAD. Um,
yeah. So
how?
sometimes
Yeah.
twice. You've got to
Okay.
mix it up a little bit, but I'll eat
Yeah.
twice in a short window, 4 hours, 5 hours, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
good. And
and then occasionally, especially when I travel, I'll skip a day completely.
that's what that was my next question. Yes. Okay. So
Yeah,
you've extended that period for prolonged.
yeah, not very long.
Okay.
72 hours is the longest I've gone so
Well,
far.
that's still very long. That compared to a lot of people, that's
Compared to a
amazing.
lot of people, yeah. I mean, my colleagues can't understand it whatsoever, why I would choose to do that. But the truth about the carnivore diet is because it's so satiating, you really don't feel hunger in the same way as when you were addicted to sugar. It, it,
Absolutely.
it's not a thing. There are no cravings,
No.
you know? So, I mean, especially when I'm traveling, I mean, it's nearly a whole day for me to travel from here to Copenhagen.
Okay.
Um, Between trains and whatnot and airports and all of that. Um, and it cuts out the food noise for the whole experience where other people are looking for snacks everywhere and
Yes.
all of this. You know, I can just breeze by all these places and not bother with them. And yeah,
Yeah.
it works for me.
And
I
I think it
generally
only
travel fasted.
yeah. And I think it only truly happens the cravings honestly, and I don't know if you agree with this, but I could never achieve that food freedom on keto. It was only once I went carnivore when I started cutting out everything and went pure abstinence with sugar that
Yeah.
my system actually said, I don't crave these things anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing. Keto is very good and it's a great first step
Yes.
for anybody.
Yes.
But it, as you say, you can still have the cravings on keto because you're
Yes.
getting the fructose
Yes.
from the fruits and stuff. It in my mind, it generates that
Yeah.
hunger and the cravings for more sugar. So it
Yes.
wasn't until I completely went carnivore that I finally stopped feeling hunger,
Yes.
and that's an amazing feeling.
It is
You
something
know,
that not a lot of people can understand until they do it.
no, I mean, I'm sitting here with you now. Uh, it's been 26 hours since I've eaten last, but I
That
am
is
going to eat soon.
that's very
I,
that is
I need
amazing.
it. Yeah, it is truly.
Yeah. Well, Brian, we'll wrap up very shortly, but let's ask some fun questions.
Okay,
What would be your top five favorite carnivore foods?
top five foods.
Hmm.
Okay, uh, obvious one, ribeye,
A ribeye. Okay.
but from a regenerative local farm.
There you go.
Yeah, not just the stuff you pick off the shelves in Aldi or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, good quality, well looked after animal. You
Yes.
know, grass
Yes.
fed.
Agreed.
So yeah, thankfully I've access to that in all three of my countries, as I like to call them: Ireland
Yes. Yeah.
and Denmark, and here in the Netherlands. Um, so that's number one. Ground beef that
Ground beef.
can mix up with eggs, or I've got a little burger press, which is
Yes.
a very handy item. So I just press my own burgers from ground meat.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, the best quality you can find from the farm, if possible. Of course, eggs is a huge one. Again, from a local farm. Bacon, which is controversial for a lot of people. But I
Depending on.
find
Yeah.
that if you know the welfare of that animal and how it was
Yes.
raised,
Yes.
yeah, and if you know that it's quality, there are no additives,
Yes.
straight from the farm, then go for it. Now,
Yes.
I only eat bacon. I don't do pork chops or anything like that. It's just bacon. I can't give up bacon.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. No judgment here.
Yeah, so that, and I group it together as dairy, raw
Yeah.
dairy.
Oh, you've got access to raw. That's really
Yes,
good.
yeah,
Lucky you.
yeah, but you can only buy direct from the farm.
Yes.
So you've got to drive there.
Still better than nothing.
Yeah, it's not on the shelves.
Yeah. It's illegal here in Australia. We cannot
Yeah,
get it.
such a shame. They've got to label it as pet food in America, some places.
Yeah, that's like it here as well.
Yeah,
That's good. So that's your top five.
that's my
Let's.
top five there.
And I think that forms a really good carnivore diet, in my opinion.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, simple. My shopping is simple.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
And what about your top three people who have influenced you in your carnivore or your health journey in total?
Okay. Sean Baker, Anthony Chafee, Ken Berry.
Oh, the giants.
I could list 20 more, but they were the
Yes.
biggest. They were the biggest influence in me in the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Amazing. Those are the giants in the community, and I think everyone
they are. Yeah.
who is in the
So,
community know them by, you hear the name and you think, wow, yeah, these people are they've helped me a lot. And I shout out to all three, Dr. Baker, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Berry. They've done humanity a great service by talking about this.
absolutely. Absolutely. And they're bringing that to the world stage, as is Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Yes.
You know, that was
Yes.
amazing that he mentioned the carnivore diet in his speech the other day
Yes.
or recently. Yeah.
Yes. It's only going to go upward from here because
Yeah.
now that mainstream have caught on, and I don't know what it's like where you are, but here in Australia, it is quite, I guess, trendy, if you want to put it that way. It is catching waves.
Yeah.
I went to my local groceries here, and I was very surprised that I saw my first ever carnivore friendly packaged food. It had
Wow.
in the label there, carnivore friendly biltong.
Okay. You want to be
This
careful
is
with that. They label a lot of things as friendly,
I,
like all the keto products that came out.
correct.
Keto
Yes,
friendly, this and that and the other, and it's still processed garbage, you know?
believe it or not, I checked the label. I think with biltong though, I mean the vinegar component of it is going to be the non-carnivore
Yeah.
ingredient. But nevertheless, my point being, it made it on the shelves. So
Yeah. Oh, no, it's a plus, I'm saying. Yeah.
this is a plus because people will start to think about this and will know what we talk about. So
Exactly.
I think we're moving forward.
I don't know if you've noticed, but since Robert F. Kennedy's coming out with the word carnivore in his speech, I've noticed an uptake. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Almost immediately after he used that word, I've noticed an uptake in my average following and interest on my page.
Yes, definitely.
I have. So I think that it's time. I think we're getting places.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so the future for Brian Kelly is getting into coaching. where can people, I guess, find, or when are you going to be starting your, intake of clients, I guess?
Well, to be honest, Geoff, not immediately. My career is going quite well right now.
Okay.
So it's not an immediate thing that I'm going to start doing, but it's something I want to have,
Yes.
and I may take on a few clients that I can coach in my spare time.
Yes.
And that's difficult to find. So I just want to get the certification for now.
Yes.
But it's something that I can use further down the road if I ever decide
Yeah.
to go there.
Absolutely.
Hats off to somebody like you that are really getting out there and coaching people and seeing their results.
Thank you.
But right now, I'm kind of happy in my career, and I don't want to go and swing it all around and end up losing my job and yet not having enough clients. So it's something I want to build up gradually. I'm probably not going to offer anything yet for maybe 1 or 2 years.
No, fair enough.
But who knows? It could change. It could change, Geoff. Yeah. So, like I said, starting small.
Yeah, no, I think that's still, even just having, that as a, I guess people call it a side job for now, or
Yeah.
even just the skill set of coaching. I think it's applicable in anyone's life, really, because the essence of coaching is really just people communication. And I think that's the main component of what you need as a coach.
Well, one thing I do have in my mind that I would love to do is, because I work in construction,
Yes.
I see the problems all around me every day.
Yes.
The obesity, the young men that are dying. There was a guy, about 6 months ago. He was the same age as me, 52.
Yes.
He dropped on the site of a heart attack.
Wow.
He was taken away by ambulance and he died 2 days later. Now, that's frightening.
Very.
Right? And that kind of thing is happening more and more on construction sites and for younger and younger men.
Yes.
So what I have in mind is that when I get my act together and put a presentation forward, that I want to start, I won't say lecturing, but having talks with small groups of people who would be interested on construction sites, and I'd start that off on my own site.
Very interesting.
Yeah, because I see that, these guys that are working on my site at the minute is about 800 guys and girls. And the percentage of, people that are struggling with their weight and their mobility, staggering. It is staggering.
I can imagine.
And, I don't know if the major companies are thinking about it, but the carnivore diet could be a way out, though I don't think I'll lead with that. As we touched on earlier, how you approach carnivore is important.
Yes.
So, you lead with cutting out the other stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and then take it from there. So I would put it as a metabolic health coaching kind of thing, as opposed to strictly carnivore.
No, that sounds very appropriate and
but I realize that these people are also from many different countries.
Yes.
And they're grouped together because they know the role in data center construction.
Yes.
And they're away from their families, and for something to go wrong in a strange country, it's mind-blowing,
Yeah.
That guy that died in the early 50s, he had a young family in a different country. I think he was from Romania or one of those.
Shocking.
Yeah, I mean, they just heard all of a sudden that their dad had died. And come on, we have to look at our health.
Absolutely.
So that's something I am passionate about, Geoff. As opposed to just coaching one-on-one, I'd like to bring in groups of these construction workers.
Yeah.
And possibly possibly end up consulting in that for all the companies that are building these data centers and other projects.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
I think the demand is really there, Brian. Just the way
I'm certain it is. Yeah.
I think it is. I think so. And look, I'm excited for you if that's the direction that you're looking at going, because that's like I said, the demand is, I think, clear and it's there.
Yeah. And I think possibly then through that, I may end up getting quite a lot of clients that would approach me afterwards.
Yes.
So
Absolutely. Yes.
that's kind of what I'm looking at.
Sounds like a great plan. Well, Brian, I think we'll cap it at that.
Okay.
Have you got any final words that you want to tell people who are watching right now? Maybe words of advice or any kind of message that you want people to know?
Yes. Well, first thing is stop believing what they tell you. Yeah. It's all a bunch of advertising and yeah, it's not good for you. All these packets that say they're low fat and high protein, all of this, it's all a bunch of garbage. Cut them all out of your life and eat real food. That's the number one thing. Yeah. If you start there, you've gone 3/4 of the way. You know? That'll be my biggest thing.
That is a really good message.
You know, not necessarily pushing carnivore, but, you know, at least natural foods.
Yes.
Foods with no ingredients, only one, you know, ingredient. Start getting into your kitchen more and stop relying on fast food.
Yes.
And convenient food and all of this junk. It's all full of crap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's
Chuck
perfect.
the seed oils out.
Seed oils and sugar.
Seed oils and sugar. That's the big one.
Yeah, the two big ones.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, well, that's about it for me, Geoff.
Brian, well, you know what? Thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it. And, you know, people can find you on Instagram under the Hunter-Gatherer Mindset.
Yeah.
Anywhere else?
Now just spread it to Facebook also.
Facebook.
Under the same name.
Perfect. Well,
but that I'm keeping as a personal record, my private posts. Personal, you know. Yeah. So I'm not worried about the growth on that. It's just like a record of my findings on the carnivore diet, and yeah.
Perfect. Sounds great. Well, for those who are watching, thank you for your support. Please like, comment in the video, and also don't forget to subscribe. Follow both me and Brian on Instagram, and we'll see you in the next episode. See ya.